Hi everyone, this is Tanya from Flying Dog Studio. Thank you so much for joining me as we take a look at our third set from Winsor Newton's Watercolor Pencil Studio Collection. And this set is going to be the foliage tones. If you have missed the previous two sets that I've done the color swatching and color mixing on, you can catch those down below. I have the links down there. I also have the link for the unboxing of this product. We also have a water brush this time. I've been using just my Winsor Newton brushes and my microfiber cloth and a cup of water, but honestly, even though that brush said Derwent, I know I hate to mix products like that. Somehow it seems wrong, but it's much faster if you use a water brush when you do this. And I do recommend that you do some color swatching and you do some color mixing when you get a new set like this and you're unfamiliar with it. It lets you know how the product's going to perform before you actually put it to the test. So as you can see, I have the colors written down the side and then abbreviated across the top, the same colors. As we come across the paper, going from left to right, I'm going to be using hard pressure on my pencil. And then as I'm coming from the top to the bottom, I'm using a lighter pressure. You can really see that with the amber here. As I'm going from left to right, I was bearing down hard on my pencil, and then as I'm coming from the top, I haven't put as much pressure on there. That allows us to see exactly how these colors are going to mix, and we can kind of tell before we put the water on them here how they're going to mix before they get the water and the activation on there. I have been very pleased with these pencils. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I've been very pleased with them and their mixing, and I have two videos out there, and I'll link those down below as well, where I have used the floral tones and the skyscapes. So those are down there, and I love the way they performed. I had a little trouble with the skyscapes. Those didn't seem to mix as well once I put them on the paper, but perhaps it's because I was not just layering like I normally do with watercolors. I was putting all the colors on there at once. I don't know. They just worked a little bit differently for me. But we have come to the end here, and now it's time to add the water. And as you can see, it's been a hot minute since I've used a water brush, so I have to kind of get used to that again. But as I'm putting the water on, I'm skipping every other box, and that is so our colors do not run together. So I'm going to be doing that all the way down, and I'm going to hop back on in a few minutes and we're going to talk about all these. But until then, here's a little musical interlude while you watch me paint. We are almost to the point of talking about these colors. We're almost done, but I did want to hop on and thank each of you for stopping by today to see what I'm up to on here. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you will consider subscribing. I do a lot of stuff on here, and not just Winsor Newton pencils. We do a lot of stuff, and we work as a community. So if any of you happen to have these pencils, or you have a favorite watercolor pencil, let us know in the comments below what you think about your pencils. So here we are. This is the final set of all of them mixed together, and let's take a look. First, I want to take a look at the greens. The wood green is a pretty strong color. It does really well when I'm using it as a light mixing, but then take a look at the grass and the green. Actually, it's green and then grass. I took a look and some of those colors were very similar until you get down to the red tones when you're mixing them together. And you can tell that the green tends a little more towards the purple, and then the grass has a little bit more of the red in it, has more of like, I'm going to say brown to it. It has kind of a brown tint to it. So to me, they almost look the same. But then as you take a look down at the other colors, you can tell you do need both of those in there. The wood green, if you're going to use wood green, I would be certain, plus the shell and the plum and even the burnt carmine, those colors did much better when you were using them very lightly in the mix and not as a hard mix in there. So if they're the dominant color and you bear down hard, you're not going to be able to see the other colors. The same thing with butter yellow. If you're going to use butter yellow, you might as well consider it like a white. It's going to give you a tone of the other colors, but you're really going to have to bear down hard with that butter yellow. So as you take a look at the colors going across, the one I really liked for mixing the yellows was the yellow and the amber. To me, I thought those were the best color mixings on there. So there you have it. Again, let us know what you think if you have these down below, if you have any tips or tricks. And this was the foliage tone from that Winsor & Newton watercolor pencil set. Again, thanks so much for joining me. This is the one that I will be working on. It is a Beatrix Potter, and that will be coming up soon. I do have some more of these color mixing videos because we have 2 more sets, curated sets, in this entire box to go through. And I hope you'll join me for all of that. But until then, my friends, I will see you in the next one.